Hello guys, welcome to the FootyBet YouTube channel where we'll be discussing about the weekend games across Europe's top 5 leagues. Remember, we always say is about the target to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of October. So do us a favor, click on the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications because we're releasing videos like this on a regular. Alright, let's do a quick recap of our midweek games predictions, right? So we're recording this video on Thursday, the 6th of October 2022, a couple of hours before the Europa League games kick off. So obviously we don't have the results of those games, but for the Champions League games that were played on Tuesday and Wednesday, I did predict that AC Milan and Chelsea were going to play a goal there. That game ended 3-0. AC Milan uncharacteristically very poor in the forward areas in that game. I think Rafael Leao, I was a bit disappointed with his performance there. He seemed very, very lackadaisical, especially in the first half and even in the second half too. So yeah, apologies for that one too. I also predicted a goal for Inter and Barcelona. Inter managed to squeak through in that game, winning 1-0. An injury time goal in the first half by Chanalov there, the Turkish player there, giving Inter the victory there. And then that's pretty much it. Those were the only two games that didn't make the cut there. That really didn't match up to our predictions there in the midweek games. I will do a review of the Europa League games to be played tonight in our next video, probably on Monday next week. Alright, so the biggest game in Europe this week obviously is the Classica, right? The Classica is the game between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Mouth-watching clash. Dortmund beat Sevilla yesterday 4-1. Very imperious performance there in Spain, and eventually led to the sacking of Lopetegui early this morning there. Bayern Munich were on a roller coaster there, completely annihilating Victoria Pilsen 5-0 there. So both teams coming to this game in complete form. Games like this always have been a high-scoring affair. So I'm just going to say that I do think that this game will end up in a goal. I do think that Bayern have the upper hand. You look at the last couple of results against Dortmund, but I do feel like this game is a comfortable goal or a 2.5. Don't forget that we always on this channel that before you go ahead to play any game, please do your own personal research and do not gamble with an amount that you are not comfortable losing. Right? So that's the only game we're looking at in Bundesliga there. The second biggest game in Europe this weekend is also the game in Serie A, AC Milan versus Juventus. I know some people might say that the Derby della Madonnina is a bigger game than their Classica, but hey, feel free to choose which of them you think is the biggest. Is the bigger game. Right, AC Milan Juventus there. Yeah, we just talked about AC Milan and Chelsea there, feeling drawing blanks at Stamford Bridge. Juventus, finally recording their first victory in this season's group in Champions League, winning 3-0 against Maccabi Haifa. Sorry, winning 3-1 there against Maccabi Haifa there. A bit impressive there, especially Adrian Rabiot, who grabbed a double in that game. AC Milan, yeah, we talked about there, but AC Milan and Juventus have a history of scoring goals in this fixture, right? It's Derby della Madonnina, that's what's called in Italy there. I won't say too much of it. Juventus, it's 2 games. It's 2 games and 2 wins since the players have returned from the international break. For AC Milan, there will be the victory at the weekend and then losing to Chelsea. I do expect that both teams will score in this particular one. So yeah, you can go ahead and play a goal there, right? The next game we'll touch up is Napoli Cremonese. Is there any team in Europe right now that's in form as Napoli? I don't think so. Maybe Man City, but Napoli have just been on the tier there. They went to Ajax right there in Netherlands and completely humiliated and embarrassed Ajax there. They won't say they're winning 6-1. And even to Tadic, the captain of Ajax, ended up getting sent off in that game. Napoli have just been really, really impressive. I think I've been impressed by just that midfield 3 of Lobotka and then Zambo Anguissa and then the young boy from Georgia. Very hard to pronounce his name, but I'll try. Kvaratskhelia. Right, they've just been so impressive and so dominant in games that you just know that any game that Napoli approaches, you almost give them the odds to just go ahead and win, and not just to win, but go ahead and really win well. Scoring 2 goals on average. Right, against Cremonese, I expect them to do the same thing. It's a straight win for me there. Right, I thought about Udinese at Atalanta. Atalanta obviously are second versus third. Udinese they are third. Atalanta have 20 points, same as Napoli. Udinese closely following behind there with 19 points. And Udinese have surprised most of us this season. I do not want to touch that game. I feel like it's a tricky game, But if you must, I think a goal will do now or an over 1.5. So a goal or an over 1.5. But I'm not going to touch that game. I would just say that if you're not really convinced, you should leave this one. You should completely leave this game out of it. Right? Yeah. So I think I covered up pretty much all the games in Serie A that I looked at. I looked at Inter Sassuolo, and the thing with Inter is Inter have been a version of Mr. Jekyll, or rather Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You don't know the Inter team that you're going to get. I was really impressed with how they dug deep, to get that victory against Barcelona. Once they got that goal in injury time in the first half, the second half was a very resilient defensive play there. They're very tight, very committed to defending and defending that one goal lead. So yeah, very impressive there. I don't think we would have thought that Inter would have beaten Barcelona there because they lost 2-1 against Roma there at the weekend. But they were very impressive. They dug deep. They were very organized defensively. Yet I still feel like against Sassuolo again, we don't know what team to expect. Most of their big hitters are still out, especially Brozovic. I think that they missed Brozovic a lot in that midfield there. If he was going to be back for this game, I would say, that I'll back Inter, with an X2. But I don't want to put my money here. I'm not sure of the Inter that we're going to see against Sassuolo. So for the Serie A, for this going to limit it to 3 games that like I talked about earlier. So limit the games in the Serie A to Napoli, Cremonese, which have called for a straight win for Napoli. AC Milan, Juventus are calling it as a goal. Let's go to England. England have a couple of great games coming up this weekend. Mouth-watering clashes, by the way, led by Arsenal versus Liverpool. Arsenal completely in form, completely dismantled Tottenham there, 3-1 at the Arsenal, or rather at the Emirates Stadium there. Liverpool beat Rangers on Tuesday 2-0, but I'm still not convinced. Guys, don't forget I'm a big Liverpool fan, but I'm still not convinced by our tactical discipline and our resilience in defending. I still feel like if Rangers had a bit of quality, they would have scored 1 goal there at Anfield. We're going to be facing the team that's top of the table on Sunday, and Arsenal have the advantage going into this game. There's no doubt about that. But I think the safest bet for this game is a goal. Traditionally, this game always leads to a lot of goals. Traditionally, it's been an over 1.5 game over the years. So I'll just settle for an over 1.5 or a goal. And if you really want to put your money where your mouth is, you can go for an Arsenal victory and a goal, right? Next game we'll talk about will be Chelsea versus Wolves. Wolves sacked their coach on Monday morning, Bruno Lage, for what has been a dismal run of games there. I like the guy personally. I think he's a good coach. He's just not had it going for him this season. He's really had a difficult period there. We did not know if they will have a coach, a new manager, ready before the Chelsea game. Chelsea, of course, were impressive against AC Milan there, winning that one 3-0. I do expect them to continue that run on form. Don't forget that Diego Costa comes up against his former team in that fixture there. I'd just like to see the battle between him and Thiago Silva, which we want to watch, right? But I think it's safe to say that we expect Chelsea to go ahead and beat Wolves there. They've been on a good run, beating Crystal Palace at the weekend, annihilating AC Milan on Wednesday 3-0. So you do expect them to go ahead and win, and beat Wolves there. So yeah, Chelsea Wolves will be a straight win for us. We called Arsenal and Liverpool as a goal. Man City Southampton, do we need to see anything more? I saw on Twitter this week somebody labeled Erling Haaland as a universal soldier, and I think that's what we'll be calling him moving on this channel. He's completely built differently, and there's a report that the Copenhagen goalkeeper told Jack Grealish at the end of the game that he felt like that Erling Haaland wasn't a human being. Sometimes when I see him play, just the wild-eyed expression, just the hunger, and just that, just that energy and the way he brushes up the challenges of defenders. You just feel like he's a clone and he's been properly made up in the lab somewhere. So long as he plays, you can expect Man City to just dispatch any opposition. Let's do a quick recap of the games that we talked about. In the Premier League, we called Chelsea and Wolves a straight win. We called Arsenal and Liverpool as a goal. We called Man City and Southampton a straight win for Man City. And you can even go ahead and play the handicap there, -1 handicap for Man City. We do expect them to score at least a minimum of 3 goals in that game. In German Bundesliga, you have the Der Klassiker there. We call it as a goal. Borussia Dortmund face up, square up with Bayern Munich. A goal is the safest bet in that one. We talked about the games in Serie A, AC Milan versus Juventus, the Derby della Madonnina there. We also call down as a goal. We are backing Napoli to go on and beat Cremonese there. Of course, Napoli, the team in the form of their lives right now. Probably the second best team in Europe after Man City there. So that's a straight win for Napoli there. And in La Liga, we're calling. In La Liga, we have Real Madrid versus Getafe. They weren't too convincing even in yesterday's victory over Shakhtar Donetsk, but I still think they will have too much for Getafe there. So yeah, I'll go for a straight win there. Barcelona facing Celta Vigo, and it's a very tricky one for me. Celta Vigo have always been very stubborn, very stubborn opponents for Barcelona over the years. Barcelona have added one more injury, Andreas Christensen there getting injured in that game against Inter Milan. So I'm not sure about the centre-back partnership that they're going to pull off in Saturday's game. But you do expect maybe Eric Garcia and Piqué to partner themselves there in centre-back. But I still feel very uncomfortable calling that game. That game can swing anyway. I do feel that Barcelona are really missing, the incisiveness and then the play of Jules Koundé from that right-hand side. If you watch their games earlier in the season, he's been able to pick passes into the front three, and even his passes into the midfield, and then just stopping counter attacks whenever they pull up whenever the midfielders push up there. I really feel that they missed him. Especially they missed him in that game against Inter Milan. So I'm not going to call that game. The only game I'm going to call in La Liga this week will be the game between Real Madrid and Getafe. So we're calling the game for Real Madrid against Getafe. There are no new injury list there. Modric was back in that midweek game against Shakhtar Donetsk. So yeah, we still expect them to put out that front three of Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Benzema, and then continue with the strong midfield three of Tchouameni, Toni Kroos, and Modric there. So yeah, accomplished team going forward. We expect them to get the 3 points against Getafe. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget, guys, to only bet money gamble with an amount that you're comfortable using. Make sure that you're 18 or older, and make sure that you gamble responsibly. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on notifications, because these videos will come to you on your regular. So have a great weekend. Take care and God bless. Good morning.